The discovery. The red dust of Mars swirled around Dr. Samira Patel's environmental suit as she carefully brushed away centuries of sediment from what appeared to be an ordinary rock formation. But she knew better. After 3 years of leading the Mars Archaeological Initiative, she had developed an instinct for these things. The subtle geometric patterns beneath the surface were too precise to be natural. Base, this is Patel. I think we found something significant in Sector 7. She transmitted, her voice steadied despite her racing heart. Requesting additional survey equipment and Professor Nguyen's presence on site. The response came quickly through her helmet's comm system. Copy that, Dr. Patel. Professor Nguyen is already en route. What exactly are we looking at? Samira continued her careful excavation, revealing more of the distinctive metallic surface beneath the Martian soil. It's some kind of structure, definitely artificial. The material, it's unlike anything in our database. The patterns suggest a level of complexity that exceeds current human engineering capabilities. Within the hour, Professor James Nguyen arrived with a team of specialists and advanced scanning equipment. The discovery site quickly transformed into a hive of activity as researchers worked methodically to uncover what would soon become the most significant archaeological find in human history. Look at these readings, Professor Nguyen muttered, his eyes fixed on his tablet. The energy signatures are minimal but present. Whatever this is, it's still active after all this time. As the team worked through the Martian day, more of the structure revealed itself. It wasn't just a building or a monument. It was an entire complex, buried beneath millennia of dust and debris. But what caught everyone's attention was the writing etched into the walls. These symbols, Samira observed, running her gloved hand over the strange markings. They're not just decorative. They follow patterns similar to human writing systems, but they're far more ancient than any known human civilization. The breakthrough came as the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the Martian landscape. In a chamber deep within the complex, they found what appeared to be some kind of control panel. As Samira approached it, the surface began to glow with a soft blue light, responding to her presence. That's impossible, one of the junior researchers gasped. The power systems couldn't possibly still be functional after all this time. But it was functioning. And as Samira stood before the panel, holographic images suddenly sprang to life around them. They showed Earth, but not as they knew it. They saw cities that existed long before recorded history, technologies that surpassed their own, and most shockingly, spacecraft leaving Earth for the stars. This isn't just an alien structure, Samira realized, her voice barely above a whisper. This is our history, our forgotten history. The implications were staggering. The evidence suggested that humans had achieved interstellar travel long before the current age, only to lose it all in some catastrophic event. The complex they had discovered wasn't built by aliens. It was built by their own ancestors. As night fell on Mars, the team worked tirelessly to document and analyze their findings. They discovered records of an advanced human civilization that had spread across multiple star systems, forming alliances with other species and achieving technological marvels they could barely comprehend. We need to contact Earth immediately, Professor Nguyen insisted. This changes everything we thought we knew about human history. But as they prepared their preliminary report, none of them could have predicted the chain of events their discovery would set in motion. Somewhere in the vast expanse of space, ancient systems were beginning to awaken, responding to the activation of the Martian complex. Humanity's forgotten legacy was about to return, bringing with it both wonders and dangers they couldn't imagine. The observation deck of the International Mars Research Station hummed with nervous energy as scientists and military officials gathered around the main display. Dr. Samira Patel stood at the center, presenting her team's latest findings from the ancient complex. But before she could finish, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Multiple objects detected entering the solar system, announced Commander Raj Sharma, his fingers flying across the tactical display. They're moving at speeds we've never encountered before. The objects, 7 sleek vessels of unmistakably artificial design, decelerated as they approached Mars. Their hulls gleamed with the same otherworldly material found in the Martian complex. As they took up orbit around the red planet, all attempts at communication met with silence. "Wait," Samira said, studying the symbols on the approaching ships. "These match the markings in the complex. They're Nexarian vessels." According to the records they decoded, the Nexarians had been humanity's closest allies before the great catastrophe that had erased their advanced civilization from history. But after millennia of separation, no one knew what to expect. The answer came in the form of a transmission that bypassed all known communication protocols. A holographic figure materialized in the center of the observation deck. Tall, humanoid, with silvery skin and eyes that seemed to hold centuries of wisdom. "I am Sentinel Race of the Nexarian Preservation Fleet," the figure announced in perfect English, their voice resonating with a musical quality. "We have waited a long time for humanity to rediscover their heritage." The room fell silent as Race explained the truth. The Nexarians have been guardians of humanity's legacy, watching and waiting for the day Earth's children would find their way back to the stars. The complex on Mars was one of many beacons left throughout the galaxy, designed to activate only when humanity had reached the necessary level of technological advancement. "But we are not the only ones who have been waiting," Reyes warned. "The Draxian Empire has spent millennia ensuring that emerging civilizations never reach their full potential. They remember the power humanity once wielded, and they fear your return." As if to emphasize the point, new alarms sounded. A massive fleet of angular, dark ships had appeared at the edge of the solar system. The Draxians had arrived, intent on preventing humanity's awakening. Professor Nguyen stepped forward, his face pale but determined. "You mentioned our heritage. What exactly did humanity possess that makes the Draxians fear us so much?" Rise's holographic form gestured, and the room filled with images of incredible technologies. Ships that could fold space, cities that floated among the clouds, and devices that could reshape matter itself. But most importantly, they showed humans working in harmony with dozens of alien species, their combined knowledge creating wonders that neither could achieve alone. "Your ancestors understood something fundamental about the universe," Race explained. "Power lies not in domination, but in cooperation. The Draxians could never accept this truth, and so they orchestrated humanity's fall, forcing us to hide your legacy until you could reclaim it." Dr. Patel watched as more Draxian ships entered the system. "How can we possibly stand against them? We barely have a presence beyond Earth's orbit." Sentinel Race smiled, and with another gesture, the Martian complex began to transform. Sections of the ground shifted and rose, revealing massive structures that had laid dormant for thousands of years. "You won't have to face them alone. Your ancestors left you more than just knowledge. They left you the means to defend it." As the day progressed, more revelations emerged. The complex contained blueprints for advanced defensive systems, ships that could be rapidly constructed using automated facilities hidden beneath Mars' surface, and most importantly, the means to reawaken humanity's dormant genetic potential, abilities that had been deliberately suppressed during their long isolation. Commander Sharma coordinated with Earth's military leaders, while Samira and her team worked frantically to understand the technology being revealed to them. The Nexarians provided guidance, but made it clear that humanity would need to stand on its own. "The choice is yours," Reyes declared as the Draxian fleet drew closer. "You can embrace your heritage and face the challenges ahead, or you can reject it and remain as you are. But know this, the Draxians will not give you the luxury of time to decide." As the sun set on Mars, humanity stood at a crossroads. The legacy of their forgotten past offered both promise and peril, and the decisions they made in the coming hours would determine not just their own fate, but the future of the galaxy itself. The Resistance. The skies above Earth blazed with weapons fire as the first wave of Draxian ships engaged the hastily assembled human Nexarian defense fleet. In the 2 weeks since first contact, Humanity had undergone a crash course in operating their ancestors' technology, but the learning curve remained steep. Commander Sharma stood on the bridge of the newly activated Aegis, a massive defensive platform that had lain dormant beneath the Martian surface for millennia. Multiple hostile contacts approaching Sector 4, he reported, watching as the Draxian forces probed their defenses. Dr. Patel, how are those systems coming along? In the platform's central core, Samira worked alongside Nexarian engineers to bring ancient defensive matrices online. Her mind still reeled from the genetic awakening process, new neural pathways allowing her to interface directly with the advanced technology. Almost there, she responded, her consciousness partially merged with the ship's systems. The quantum shields are at 60% capacity. The Draxian Empire had sent their most formidable fleet, led by War Prince Korth, a veteran of 1,000 conquests. His gravelly voice echoed through all communication channels. Surrender the legacy archives, and we will spare your worlds. Resist, and we will ensure humanity never rises again. Professor Nguyen, now coordinating from Earth's Unified Command Center, analyzed the incoming data streams. The Draxians' technology was impressive, but it lacked the elegant efficiency of the legacy systems. They've spent millennia copying and corrupting our ancestors' work, he observed, but they never truly understood the principles behind it. The battle intensified as more Draxian ships entered the system, but humanity had one advantage. Desperation bred innovation. Young pilots, their genetic potential newly awakened, demonstrated an intuitive grasp of the legacy vessels that shocked even their Nexarian allies. Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez, flying one of the recovered interceptors, discovered she could anticipate enemy movements seconds before they occurred. There's a pattern to their attack formations, she reported, leading her squadron through maneuvers that seemed to defy physics. They're relying on programmed strategies. They're not adapting. The Draxians' numerical superiority began to falter against the combined ingenuity of human instinct and legacy technology. War Prince Korth, enraged by the resistance, ordered his forces to target Earth's population centers directly. They're trying to force our hand, Sentinel Riss observed from the Nexarian command ship. But they've made a crucial mistake. They've given us a reason to fully embrace our potential. In that moment of crisis, something extraordinary happened. The genetic awakening, which had been gradually spreading through Earth's population, accelerated. Millions of humans simultaneously experienced the activation of dormant abilities, enhanced cognition, technological interfacing, and most importantly, a form of collective consciousness that their ancestors had once mastered. Dr. Patel felt it first, a surge of connected awareness as humanity's dormant neural network sprang to life. We're not just fighting as individuals anymore, she realized. We're fighting as one. The tide of battle shifted dramatically. Human operators, now connected on a fundamental level, coordinated their actions with unprecedented precision. Legacy weapons platforms responded to their collective will, moving with an efficiency that the Draxians couldn't match. War Prince Korth, witnessing his fleet's deteriorating position, revealed his final gambit. If we cannot have the legacy, no one will. A massive weapon emerged from his flagship, aimed not at Earth, but at the sun itself. They're attempting to trigger a solar flare that would devastate the entire system, Professor Nguyen warned. This is why they attacked now. They never intended to let us survive. But the Draxians had underestimated the power of humanity's awakening. As Korth's weapon powered up, thousands of human minds joined together, reaching through the legacy systems in ways even their ancestors hadn't imagined. The quantum shields, originally designed to protect individual ships, began to synchronize across the entire defense fleet. Commander Sharma, his consciousness linked with countless others, understood what needed to be done. All vessels, form up. We're going to show them what humanity's legacy truly means. As the Draxian weapon fired, humanity stood united, their combined will channeled through technology that had waited millennia for this moment. The battle's outcome would determine not just Earth's fate, but the future of every species that had lived in fear of the Draxian Empire's shadow. The Alliance. The void of space erupted in a brilliant display as the Draxian superweapon's energy beam collided with humanity's unified quantum shield. Commander Sharma felt the strain through the neural link as millions of minds worked together to maintain the defensive barrier. From the shadows of the outer system, a new force emerged. The Satani, a species long thought extinct by the Draxians, revealed themselves. Their bioorganic ships, sleek and ethereal, moved with impossible grace as they positioned themselves alongside the human Nexarian fleet. "We have watched and waited," the Satani leader, first speaker Naira, transmitted. "Like the Nexarians, we remembered humanity's gift for bringing peoples together. Now we stand with you." The Satani brought more than just military support. Their organic technology complemented the legacy systems in ways that even the Nexarians hadn't anticipated. Dr. Patel worked feverishly with Satani biotechnologists to integrate their systems. "The legacy tech responds to collective consciousness," she explained, her hands dancing across living control interfaces. "But the Satani ships respond to emotional resonance. Together, they form something entirely new." Professor Nguyen finished, watching as the merged technologies created effects that defied conventional physics. War Prince Korth, faced with this unexpected alliance, revealed the depths of his desperation. "You think your unity makes you strong," he snarled across the communications channels. "The Draxian Empire ruled through strength alone for millennia. We will not be undone by primitive emotions and obsolete ideals." But the Draxians' reliance on brute force proved to be their weakness. Lieutenant Rodriguez, now leading a mixed squadron of human, Nexarian, and Satani pilots, demonstrated how the three species' different approaches created unprecedented tactical advantages. "They can't predict what they don't understand," she reported, as her squadron executed maneuvers that seemed to bend reality itself. "And they've never understood the power of true cooperation." The Satani ships, responding to the emotional strength of the human collective consciousness, began to generate quantum fields that enhanced the legacy systems exponentially. First Speaker Nera explained that this had been the true potential that the Draxians had feared, not just advanced technology, but the ability to bring out the best in other species. As the battle reached its climax, War Prince Korth launched his entire reserve fleet in a final devastating attack. But this time, humanity was ready. The combined human Nexarian Satani force moved as one, their technologies working in perfect harmony. Commander Sharma, his consciousness expanded through the neural network, saw the pattern of victory emerge. "All ships, execute Protocol Unity," he ordered. "Show them what happens when we stand together." The space around Earth's orbit transformed into a magnificent demonstration of three civilizations' combined potential. Legacy weapons powered by Satanic quantum fields, guided by human intuition and Nexarian precision, created a defensive matrix that the Draxians couldn't penetrate. Professor Nguyen, monitoring the battle from Earth, observed another unexpected development. The awakened human consciousness was having an effect on the Draxian forces themselves. Their rigid hierarchical command structure began to fragment as individual ships responded to the emotional resonance generated by the Alliance. "They're remembering." First Speaker Naira transmitted. "Before the Empire, the Draxians too knew the value of cooperation. Your ancestors helped forge those bonds, and now that memory returns." As the battle reached its decisive moment, humanity's legacy revealed its true nature, not as a weapon or a source of power, but as a bridge between civilizations. The choice now lay with the Draxians: continue their path of isolation and dominance, or remember what they had lost. The legacy returns. The final confrontation unfolded not in violence, but in an unprecedented display of transformation. As War Prince Korth's flagship unleashed its remaining weapons, something extraordinary occurred through the neural network connecting the Allied forces. Through the shared consciousness, Dr. Patel discovered hidden frequencies within the legacy systems. frequencies that resonated with fundamental patterns of life itself. The technology was never meant for war, she realized. It's a key to understanding consciousness across all species. The combined fleet, guided by this revelation, generated a quantum resonance field that enveloped the Draxian Empire. Instead of destroying their ships, it created bridges between minds: human, Nexarian, Satani, and now, unwillingly but inevitably, Draxian. War Prince Korth's mental barriers crumbled as ancient memories flooded through his consciousness. He saw his own ancestors working alongside humans, building wonders that neither species could create alone. The rigid ideology of the Empire began to crack under the weight of truth. "This is impossible," Korth transmitted, his voice trembling. "These memories, they cannot be real." "They are the truth your empire buried," Commander Sharma responded, extending an offer through the neural link. "Feel what we feel. Remember what was lost." The legacy technology, fully awakened and merged with Satani bioorganic systems, created a psychic aurora that stretched across the solar system. Within this field, the barriers between species dissolve, replaced by a profound understanding that transcended language and culture. Professor Nguyen, monitoring from Earth, detected massive energy signatures emanating from dormant legacy sites across the galaxy. "It's a network," he announced. "The entire galaxy is connected by these sites, waiting for all species to remember their shared heritage." First speaker Naira's voice carried a note of wonder. The humans' gift was never their technology. It was their ability to bring out the best in every species they encountered. The legacy is not a weapon or a power source. It's a reminder of what we can achieve together. Lieutenant Rodriguez, leading her mixed squadron through the Aurora, felt the change rippling through the Draxian fleet. Their ships, they're responding to the resonance. The crews are awakening to their own forgotten potential. The transformation spread like a wave through the Draxian forces. Centuries of imperial conditioning gave way to long-suppressed truths. Ships began powering down their weapons as their crews experienced the full impact of the shared consciousness. In a moment that would be remembered for generations, War Prince Korth's flagship transmitted on all frequencies. We remember. Before the Empire, before the wars, we were builders, creators, partners in the great work of civilization. We forgot our true strength. The legacy had returned, but not as anyone had expected. Instead of ancient weapons or powerful technologies, it restored something far more valuable: the memory of a time when species worked together, when differences were celebrated rather than feared, when the galaxy was filled with the combined achievements of many peoples. Dr. Patel, standing in the heart of the Martian complex where it all began, watched as new connections formed between the gathered species. The facility hummed with energy as it fulfilled its true purpose, not as a repository of lost technology, but as a beacon calling all sentient beings back to a path of cooperation and shared discovery. "Our ancestors didn't leave us weapons," she transmitted to the unified fleet. "They left us a choice: to repeat the cycles of conflict and isolation, or to remember that our greatest achievements have always come from working together." As the aurora faded, the solar system fell quiet. The legacy of humanity had finally returned in full, not as conquerors or saviors, but as bridge builders, reminding all species of their capacity for unity, creativity, and growth. The long night of separation was over, and a new dawn of cooperation was beginning. The Draxian Empire's fall marked not an ending, but a beginning. As ships from all four species gathered around Earth, their crews newly awakened to shared possibilities, the next chapter in galactic history began to unfold, one that would be written not by any single species, but by all of them together.